Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big him and show one stone, and it bring about feeling to Dirty man throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good evening, and welcome to Global TV. It's Friday evening, the 23rd of May, and it is Labor Day in our side of the town in Jamaica. And everybody was out for Labor Day today. Hooray! MPs and councillors and everybody was out. They were buying rice. They were buying chicken. They were buying rum. East Portland MPs, what did you buy? What did East Portland MP or councillors buy today? Just asking. Just asking. 1 second, I can send one text. East Portland MPs. East Portland MPs and councillors wanna buy today, wanna buy. How much wanna spend on Labor Day today? Shanice Green, good evening, Miss Green. No, sir. Good evening, Shanice Green. What did you buy today for Labor Day? Did you spend any money on Labor Day? What did you buy? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, reveal subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening and welcome. What did you do for your Labor Day in Jamaica today? Did you work as hard as the Prime Minister, drilling while taking photographs and knocking hammer while taking photographs? Did you live it up like the Prime Minister today? Going around doing bits and pieces here? Or were you painting school like the East Portland MP Isaac Buchanan? What were you doing on this Labor Day? Tell us in the chat what you did in order to assist, clean up your country, repair your country, fix your country on Labor Day. What was it? Debbie Jarvis, good evening. RJ, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Gloria Morris. Good evening. Beat and Teach, good evening and welcome. Good evening, all. Who else is here? Good evening and welcome. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Good evening. Who else is here? Good evening and welcome. Good evening, all. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Yvonne Johnson, good evening and welcome. Rosemary Anderson, good evening. Sweeney, good evening and welcome. Evan Riley, the untouchable one, good evening. Melissa Green, Joan Bailey, Cynthia Coley, good evening all and welcome. Let me see who is on the tick this evening. Dulcie, is it Madans? Good evening. Romari, Georgette, Kenneth. Well gone, Kenneth. Zolo Wagwan, user 7914, Glenn Anderson, Coconut, Carl Surgeon, Enna, Anthony Morgan, good evening, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Delroy Chuck, this pretty lady have some things to say which I don't know if that's what she means or the observer is twisting her words. The observer have 2 articles on her, but I will refer to a paragraph in this article when it comes to safeguarding of our children. Miss Kenisha. That's not her name. I just feel like call her Miss Kenisha. What's her name? Her name is it Diane Gordon Harrison or such a forth, but let's call her Miss Kenisha for now. So Miss Kenisha is urging parents, persons to vet hold on. Children advocate Diane Gordon Harrison has called on parents and guardians to be vigilant about who they allow to have access to their children and to ensure that they are properly vetted. Now, as somebody that deals with child protection, Miss Kenisha, I kind of somewhat have a problem with that utterance. It would tell me, Miss Kenisha, that you somewhat do not understand fully how safeguarding works. Because in the next article, which is that one there, you are pushing a similar argument to Delroy Chuck, that because of jungle justice, we must protect the identity of those who are predatory pedophiles or sex offenders. That's the argument. I don't know if I did observer and mischaracterize you, but them have it in quote, Miss Kenisha. So that's why me think to say, that's what you mean. At one point, you say you are speaking measured in context to Jamaica's jungle justice. But it seems to me as if your argument is quite similar to Delroy Chuck. We must protect predators from jungle justice. That is what I'm getting from Miss Kenisha in this article on screen. But the safeguarding issue with the one now on screen, Miss Kenisha. You see, Miss Kenisha, for parents, for parents, Miss Kenisha, to be able to know who are having access to their children, it then call on the government, something ought to be pushed by your advocacy, because under the law, under duty child protection to protect children. So as I've always talked about the safeguarding policy, Miss Kenisha, which will be a national policy that everybody that has any contact to do with children must go to a rigorous vetting by the state authority, by police and otherwise, before they can have that access, Miss Kenisha. Now, with the sex offenders register, Miss Kenisha, that you all are pushing back on the premise of jungle justice, on the premise of jungle justice, you're saying that parents must vet who come in contact with their children. But while the sex offenders register is not public, how is it then that a parent who doesn't have the powers that the police have or other authorities have to carry out a vetting process to know that that person has been charged previously with a criminal offense, when you're going to mount on the data protection argument if one sought that information, Miss Kenisha? So it ought to be a national policy. Safeguarding, Miss Kenisha, ought to be a national policy. So therefore, every apparatus of the state, every different area of the state that have anything to do with children, whether it be the school, the church, the hospital, child protection, the football coaches, everybody that come in contact with children have to go through a proper police check and is verified first. That is how you protect the children. You cannot pass the burden off, Miss Kenisha, just to the parent when it's a broader societal issue where they also get kidnapped as well, Miss Kenisha. I think you all need to take advice on safeguarding. I think you all need to take advice on safeguarding because I think you all have it horrible wrong. How Miss Kenisha have it I don't so because like Delroy Chuck, Miss Kenisha is more concerned about predatory pedophiles, jungle justice being met out to them. That's what Miss Kenisha seemed to be concerned about. And leveling the duty of protection to the parents. Of course, I'm not saying parents don't have a duty, but when it comes to such a broad societal issue as we experience, then it must be a national issue, Miss Kenisha, to tackle the issue. And the sex offenders register, Miss Kenisha, is one of those tools that will assist in tackling this broad societal issue. But you see, people get placed in position of power. God help us, wanna carry us. As somebody in child protection, I expect you to be calling for a national child protection policy, for a national safeguarding policy. Because what you are asking the parent to do, Miss Kenisha, it's the state responsibility to put safeguarding mechanism in place. In England, so everywhere, church, school, football court, wherever you're going to have contact with children, you must have those checks done. Why is the Jamaican government and those armory of the state keep pushing the problem back to us when we employ them and put them in those positions to come up with solutions, Miss Kenisha, to our problem? We didn't pay Miss Kenisha for Miss Kenisha to come back and tell us it's your job to know who your children are coming in contact with. That's not good enough, Miss Kenisha. I never that we employ enough, and I never that we pay enough. And if you can't do it, when if you talk so you can't do it, make we put somebody who have brain power and can think to put ideas in place, but certainly have a disjointed safeguarding will not work. What we need is a national policy. So tell parents, say, make sure be vigilant, yeah, so tell educators to make sure, say, when them employ somebody, them check the sex offenders register. All good and done, Miss Kenisha. It's not a national policy, though. It doesn't tackle the national issue. What we are experiencing is an island-wide crisis, and we must address it thus. You can't tell parent address yeah, so school address yeah, so. So when they in the taxi driver car and parent and school down there, Miss Kenisha? Or when they out on the street, Miss Kenisha, and parent and school is not there. You see why we need a national policy? So, I only hope Miss Kenisha can take advice and try to do it right in the interests of protecting our children. I don't like how the jungle justice is being used to balance the protection of our children's lives and innocency. I don't see how that balance, even given the recent situation at Job Lane, I don't see how that balance that you all are striking, we're protecting pedophiles from jungle justice. I don't see how it balanced well against a child that was raped, murdered, strangled, and turned upside down in a barrel. I really don't understand how you all strike that balance. When one should be presenting evidence to say, well, then, look at the figures of these known predators that have been murdered, injured, blah, blah, blah. But you're worried about jungle justice being meted out to them and not worried about the dangers to children. So I think Miss Linda kind of not get it right. Miss Linda is kind of more leaning to Delroy Chuck Galangin, because the Miss Linda, another 11-year-old, has been kidnapped and abducted and sexually assaulted again. So I would like both Miss Linda, the government, Delroy Chuck, and everybody to put more emphasis in protecting the children rather than the predators. Because so far, the Sankey coming from the government at the moment, we don't want predators to be victim of jungle justice. That's what we're hearing at the moment. So we ask the Prime Minister to give us a clear direction on the issue, because the nation is rather confused on the issue. DARYL Wagwan, you all right? You all right, Mr. VAZ? We're on there. And problem time now, you know. It's Friday. We are going to pretend like we're drunk. We're in England, DARYL VAZ. And if you know anything well about the United Kingdom, on a Friday evening, you could see a lot of drunks up and down the street, DARYL VAZ. I can be one of them, can't I? And VAZ, Anne-Marie VAZ. Where was DARYL VAZ on the night of Faughthy's murder and VAZ? Can you say where your husband was? And if DARYL VAZ was not at home, Miss VAZ, would you be able to tell us if he was in Portland or was he in St. Anne? Which of the parish? And if Mr. VAZ was in St. Anne's, for what reason, Miss VAZ, might your husband be in Portland and St. Anne? Would you know anything of such? When never come out and never condemn Faugthy killing, when never come out and never say rest in peace, nah nothing, but when turn up at the funeral, left that aside, even though DARYL VAZ still did send out him policeman come answer the first set of questions, but so far, me not hear the police boy come answer the next set of questions as to which parish DARYL VAZ was in the night of Faughthy's murder. And whether DARYL VAZ can tell us if he was on the scene of Faughthy's killing shortly after, probably Mr. VAZ, even before the police officers got there. I hope DARYL VAZ can send out young police come respond to these questions. We have been waiting for quite a long time. Anne-Marie VAZ, I am aware of DARYL VAZ side chick, other woman, girlfriend in St. Anne's. If it is that your husband, Miss VAZ, was in St. Anne's on that night, could it be that he was staying at the Lover in St. Anne's? But that is not even the important point, Miss VAZ. Your husband was on the scene of Samuel Dixon's murder, even before the police. Could DARYL VAZ answer as to why he was on the scene of Faughthy's murder? What was the altercation or argument between DARYL VAZ and Faughthy weeks or days before Faughthy's brutal slaying? Because I see a lot out how much a million to the do whatever. But the public need to know how much money uno go put down. We want to see how much money uno go put down so uno use for Labor Day work. Because Shanique, the one chicken Shanique Green. Somebody called Shanique Green then, with the one chicken, 5 pounds of rice, one chicken, 5 pounds of rice, half a stick of butter, big jar of oil, 1/4 pound of sugar, 1 pack of quenchade, 2 lime. And that Shanique Green bag, the work of them today, you know. The work of them will work for Labor Day and want cook. Shanique Green buy them 1 chicken, 5 pounds of rice, half a stick of butter, big jar of oil, 1 quenchade, 1/4 pound of sugar, and 2 lime. So we want to know how much Shanique Green are going to set down. So she spend on Labor Day project. Because we know so this is another big heist. You know. This year I got bigger. This year I got bigger than the EM 800 Jill. Because the amount of money Andrew Holness and for him team them, I go write down in a book today and pan handback so they spend pan Labor Day project. The country will have to pick up the pieces. I kid you not. The people them ask Shanique Green for £10 a chicken. Shanique Green, £10 a chicken, £10 a rice. And also them ask for Shanique Green turn up with 1 chicken, £5 a rice, half a stick of butter. No, the half a stick of butter me and my copy, but it's how Shanique Green low life. The people them ask for £10 a chicken and £10 a rice, and Shanique Green turn up with 1 chicken, 1 dege chicken, you know. 1 dege chicken, Shanique Green turn up with, and £5 a rice. So might as well she carry 1/4 stick of butter and big ginger oil and 2 quenchade and 2 lime and 1 quenchade and 1/4 pound of sugar with it. So me want to know, because she really carry the chicken, the 1 chicken and the rice for 2. But I me add the rest of the same thing there. But Shanique Green wicked because me know to say, and we know all them teeth and tan. So them are going to put down one whole heap of money. See DARYL VAZ fork out millions already, and DARYL VAZ put down about $2 million already. DARYL VAZ alone put down about 2 million. So can you imagine when them here done run through and count up? The 1 chicken don't weigh 10 pounds. No, the 1 chicken don't weigh 10 pounds. I mean Shanique Green, mean and wicked. Because them are going to take the money. Them are going to take the money and pocket it and say them do Labor Day project and all of that. Mr. DARYL VAZ claim saying do something another for 2 million or whatever. This is how they are going to milk the liquorous and money out of the country. And they don't have no shame for see right now Andrew Holness, Dr. Tufton, and Donovan Williams in a big kete jump. Big kete over the same thieving of public money via the Ministry of Health. Via the Ministry of Health. So, me no know where I go on because DARYL VAZ and VAZ, the whole of them, Andrew Holness, the whole of them are going to give a big budget as to what they did in Labor Day and how much they spend on Labor Day. But just like a how they spend 244 million on the coastline, and not a bear which part where the people them up there say, we don't know what them are talk about, because we don't see what them are talk about, and we don't see them can't do nothing, even though they say they spend 244 million. Yeah, so the same way, they say them buy Jill for $32 million. When we find this short, you can get the Jill for less than 5 million Jamaican dollar. Meaning say you couldn't get 6 out of it and left change. Give them box food and box drinks money and fare money. And we pay $32 million for 1 Jill. And all them are come tell us, if we don't shut them out, them are going to sue we. If we don't shut we mouth, them are go sue we. So it look like everybody if come just abuse we, and then we don't say anything about it. Nothing at all. Under this government, it's constant abuse and constant threat. Constant abuse and constant threat. Me I wait to hear how much spent on Labor Day, you know. And please make case and talk. Because me know Shanique Green never spend the money. Shanique Green never buy what the people them ask her to buy. You understand? So I am hoping that when the truth come out, them talk for the money there. Just like how we want to know where the 27, because remember me say me I going to 5 million for the drill. The other 27 million prime minister, you think we're done with it? We will never let this go. Because when you try, like everybody else, when you try to make it look like Dr. Daz mischievous, him a liar, he's just behaving political. As counter Dr. Daz, there's a bigger corruption at the Ministry of Health to be uncovered. And we want to unearth that crime that is going on at the Ministry of Health. So we hope the Integrity Commission react very quickly to the dossier that Mr. Dawes sent over to them, because major problem is going on in the public purse at the moment. Alrighty. Anybody want to help me to run Global TV? I'm going to take a break from social media for about a month or so in the near future. If anyone wants to run Global TV that time, do their own thing, I can assist you in doing so. But I'll be taking about a month break. I will update you further on that, but I'll be taking about a month break from social media. If anybody wants to anchor Global TV for that time, you can do so. Alrighty, but I will keep you informed when it gets closer to the time. When it gets close. That's why I ask somebody to take over the program for a month. Ladybug, anybody wants to take over the program for a month and run the program for a month, they're welcome to do so. But I'll definitely keep you informed. I want to bring to you a letter from President Chore to the state of France. I think it's a good piece of listen to, and I want us to listen to some of it tonight.
To the French Republic, for too long you have mistaken African patience for permission. You thought our silence meant surrender. You believed our diplomacy was weakness. You misread our civility as chains, forgetting that even a lion sleeps with dignity. But I write you now, not in anger. I write to you with the calm of the ancestors, with the stillness of those who stood beneath colonial gallows, yet never bowed their spirits. I speak with the voice of empires older than your archives, from kingdoms whose gold-built cathedrals you now claim as yours. This is not a letter, is a reckoning. You came to our lands as guests and left as thieves. You entered with Bibles in one hand and bayonets in the other. preaching salvation as you shackled our minds and plundered our minerals. You renamed our rivers, desecrated our shrines, uploaded our museums, and then dared to teach us civilization. What is civilization to a people who built Timbuktu when Paris was a swamp? What is progress to a people who mastered astronomy while your king still feared eclipses? France, this is not about the past alone. This is about your present appetite. This is about how you still drink from African wells and pretend your thirst is righteous. You speak of partnerships, yet your embassies dictate our elections. You preach free markets, yet your companies monopolize our resources.
Hey, I filmed this for you. It's one of the most powerful trading strategies I've ever used. And I want to walk you.
You scream about democracy, yet your soldiers guard dictators who serve your interest. And in Burkina Faso, in the heart of West Africa, we say enough. You still owe us gold artifacts, blood, and truth. You've built museums from our stolen memory, economies from our stolen labor, and pride from our stolen identity. You created narratives that depict Africa as broken, yet it is your fingerprints that stain every fracture. You owe our mothers the sons buried under your foreign wars. You owe our soil the purity you poisoned for uranium and time. Profit, you owe our future the dignity you tried to erase with every lie published in your newspapers, every puppet installed in our palaces, and we are no longer asking politely. The storm is not coming, the storm is already here. It gathers in the minds of our youth who no longer dream in French. It whispers in the chants of our people who all reject your currency and your control. It echoes in the silence of African leaders who finally refuse to be pawns. You have until now benefited from our division. You fed on our tribal tensions, sowed discord, and presented yourself as the only solution to the chaos you engineered. But Africa has read the manual now. We've studied your tactics. We've named your games, and we've chosen not to play. We are building a new order, one not defined by your parliaments or polished in your press. A sovereign, unbought, uncolonized order rooted in truth, dignity, and justice. This is your warning return, what you stole. Not only the artifacts that sit behind glass, but the resources, the honor, and the independence you stripped with treaties signed at gunpoint. Return them or face a generation that no longer fears your flags or your threats. You see, this is not just Burkina Faso speaking. This is the voice of Africa, unfiltered. The voice of Mali rising, the voice of Niger awakened, the voice of a continent that has been quiet too long. You may mock our courage on your screens, you may twist our message in your editorials. But the ground beneath you is shifting, your grip is slipping, your time is ending. We do not seek vengeance, we seek restoration. But make no mistake, restoration is not a request. It is a demand backed by resolve, and we are prepared to stand, to resist, and if need be, to rebuild from ashes. This is only the beginning, signed with fire, not fear. From Ouagadougou to the conscience of a sleeping empire, wake up or be swept away. The currency of change. France, let us speak plainly now. You did not just take our gold, you minted it into your prosperity, then returned to sell us back our own freedom at interest. The CFA franc, that colonial relic you swore was an economic partnership. Let the world hear it today. It is not a currency, it is a lishek. For decades, your government claimed it ensured stability. But to stability, was it the African farmer who could not export his harvest without your permission? Was it the mother in Ouagadougou whose bread cost more because the euro sneezed in Paris? Was it the young Burkinab genius who had to flee to Lyon or Marseille to find value for his mind? No, the only stability it brought was to your stock markets, to your illusion of African dependency, to your dream that our nations would never truly stand alone, because your hand would always be on our throat. Disguised as a handshake, you demanded we deposit our foreign reserves with your central bank. You taxed our sovereignty before we ever collected it. You robbed us and told us to be grateful for your management of the spoils. How dare you? You built cathedrals in Paris with the profits from Congolese rubber, Ivorian cocoa, Burkina cotton, and then had the audacity to place African masks in your museums labeled not as loot, but as artifacts generously donated. You built wealth with stolen hands and then raised those same hands as if they were clean. But we remember how your corporations operated behind puppet regimes siphoning uranium from Niger. While her people sat in darkness, we remember how your embassies played chess with our elections, installing leaders who spoke French fluently but never dared speak freedom. We remember the coups you funded, the resistance you labeled as rebels. The patriots you call threats to democracy. No more. The youth of Africa are not your colony. We are not here to beg. We are not here to bargain. We are here to reclaim. And hear me clearly, this is not a request. And this is a final notice. So return what you stole. Not just the artifacts, not just the gold, not just the money sitting in your vaults. Return the respect, the agency, the right to chart our destiny without your shadow. We will no longer ask. We will act. The CFA franc will fall because a continent cannot rise with foreign chains around its economy. We will build our own institutions. We will trade in our own currencies. We will educate our children in our own languages. We will define ourselves not through the lens of a Paris newsroom, but through the eyes of African wisdom and truth. You can call it defiance. We call it deliverance. And do not mistake our unity for noise. What you hear rising across West Africa is not mere outrage, it is order being restored. What you hear from Mali, from Niger, from Burkina Faso is the sound of empires being broken. Without bullets, just by the truth. We did not come to threaten you with war, but understand this, if you continue to threaten our freedom with debt, dependency, and deceit, then you will indeed face a storm not of our weapons, but of our will. A storm of minds awakened, a storm of youth mobilized, a storm of nations aligned no longer on your terms, but on our own. Africa will not remain in the waiting room of history. Our hour has struck, and in this new dawn, the old currency of control is worthless. The lion has risen, and he does not negotiate with those who once held the whip. The why of civilization, France, you once called it a civilizing mission. You arrived with the Bible in one hand and a rifle in the other. You taught us your prayers, but banned our drums. You showed us cathedrals, then destroyed our temples. You spoke of light, but moved like shadows. And when you were done baptizing the soil in our blood, you dared to say we were better off. Better off. You erased languages that carried centuries of wisdom. You outlawed names that spoke of identity and spirit. You tore families from roots, turned kings into prisoners, turned queens into housemaids. You humiliated sages, buried griots, and then wrote your own version of history.
Where did the Jewish people originate from? Are most of them
where the conqueror is always civilized and the victim always silent. But hear this now, we were never uncivilized, we were uncolonized. And it's a difference. Before you built your palaces, we built kingdoms. Before your flags flew over our lands, our ancestors flew with the stars. Timbuktu was teaching the world when your kings were still hunting in forests. We birthed mathematics while you battled superstition. We honored nature while you divided the heavens into pieces of paper and called it ownership. So no, Franze, you did not bring us civilization. You brought us interruption. To see, your greatest success was not just in stealing land. It was in stealing the mirror. You made us see ourselves through your gaze, ashamed of our skin, our tongues, our gods, our rhythm. You didn't just rob gold, you robbed memory. You didn't just take cotton, you took confidence. You didn't just loot minerals, you looted meaning. But now the mirror has shattered. And what stands before you is not the Africa of yesterday. Not the Africa that apologizes for wanting dignity. Not the Africa that boasts when it builds. Not the Africa that waits for handouts dressed as help. We are not ashamed of what we were before you came. We are not confused about what you did. And we are not afraid to say it now. You lied. You lied to our fathers. You lied to the world. And you're still lying every time your media calls our resistance instability. Every time your officials call our independence dangerous. Every time your think tanks publish fear, mongering analyses about military regimes in West Africa. What's truly dangerous is truth, because truth cuts deeper than bayonets. And the truth is this: we do not need your version of civilization. We do not need your endorsement to be free. We do not need your textbooks to define who we are. We will raise our children on the shoulders of our ancestors, not in the shadows of colonizers. We are not asking for charity. We are demanding clarity. Return what you stole. Not just gold, not just artifacts, not just currency, but our story. You want
not just gold, France, Britain, Portugal, America, or gold, but our story. That story that is buried in Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, the Vatican, and all over of Europe. That stolen story. Yes, bring it back. And I want to turn to Colonel Charles. No. Because every time they try to act as if they're doing something good, we see that it's because they are being caught out and they're trying to make it right. No. Pernell Charles Ministry is saying that they are moving to regularize Chinese workers at popular auto repair shop. So then, Mr. Charles, it is true that they were working in violation of their immigration visa or work permit. Under any country's rule, Mr. Charles, that is a violation of their visa, which, Mr. Charles, could have their visa revoked or could, Mr. Charles, be prosecuted or, Mr. Charles, be leveled a civil fine. But in your case here, you are regularizing their visa to make sure so them work. It lead me to ask the question, was this something arranged between Uno and them? Wanna never expect we forget to pick up pan. Why no, rather than you all are prosecute them for working in violation of the immigration rules? Rather than prosecuting them for working in violation, or the employer or the owner to employ them in violation of the immigration rule, you're regularizing them. You're making sure they have the right visa to work at the auto shop rather than at a supermarket, isn't it? What usually happens in this case, Mr. Charles, this is a violation of their visa. And their visa could be, ought to be withdrawn and be deported. It's what happens in any country where you violate your visitors or work visa. But here Mr. Charles is saying, so we could just give them the right working visa since as they're working illegal. Let's give them the right working visa. How is it then though, Mr. Charles, that the owner or whoever went through all level of compliance, or did they not? Because putting up such an establishment, there's a hoop of bureaucracy, regulatory bureaucracy that you have to jump through if you're going the right route, or if you're not paying kickback to somebody or tipping off somebody, or like how Jamaica politician asks where my cut be. Maybe somebody get a cut, say, sign off on certain things for you where no go through the right rigmarole them. But once Pernell Charles Ministry became clear that these Chinese are working in violation of whatever visa they have, then it's down to Harris Chang and Pika to remove their visa, to deport them, or to charge them with an immigration offense. But, say, you only need to be black and poor for the law to be enforced against you. This law is against poor black people. If you're on the other side of Jamaica, like the colorism side of Jamaica, the classism side of the Jamaica, or you know a friend of a good friend, or you know somebody in high society. You know the many different little Jamaica that exists, barring the Jamaica for poor people. So Pernell Charles and Horace Chang needs to answer a question about this. What kind of corruption is going on between Pernell Charles, Horace Chang, and between Pernell Charles, Horace Chang, and the Chinese, the Chinese car shop? Something is going on that we are not fully aware of, because what Pernell Charles come tell we know, he should have been telling us that they're V-Day, because if you regularize them now, you obviously found out that they were in violation of whatever visa they were issued. Once there is that violation, then they're in violation of their entire visa, which one can be removed and be deported, as well as leveled as civil fine or be charged with an immigration offense. These are the things we face a foreign to, and these are the things that migrants face in a foreign country. Why is it? Because of money, our system are making exception for everybody, and still prosecute we for everything. Not prosecute, persecute rather. Prosecute and persecute are two different something. Them persecute we for everything. And everybody from over yonder come get a little getaway. That's why I'm telling you, it's not really the Chinese are my problem so far. It's our own leaders. Because here Pernell Charles and Horace Chang find out that the Chinese are working in violation of the visa given to them by PICA and their work visa as well, which is a violation. Are they not on a visa for work? Are they there illegally? But rather than it's been dealt with as how it ought to, Colonel Charles are going to regularize them. Let me just give them they already. Them they already. Let me just give them the necessary document to get on with what them need to get on with. It's our leaders that are the problem. It's them that don't have our interests at heart. It is them that is giving away every benefit to the Chinese and we can't get any. It's our leaders that are the problem. Because if them Chinese now walk on whole way and take things from we, it's our leaders that are giving them more favorable treatment than us. Because if we have one little criminal record of Jamaica, they not employ we. But Chinese prisoner come from China, I get work at Jamaica. It's our government. Our leaders are the problem. They're not looking out for us. They're not concerned with us benefiting anything. They're not concerned with our development. What they're concerned about is how much they can benefit for whatever racketeering exercise them take all of us on to make sure they benefit personally from. We're not going anywhere, Jamaica. We're not going anywhere. So we couldn't get 6 jail. So money where we could have get 6 jail out, we only get 1 total one. One thing we're going to go with the 1 jail. And when the 1 jail broke down, we have to go find one another $32 million again to buy one another one from Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness will sell jail. Jill selling Prime Minister. There's my boy, what your name? Donovan. You can't move out highway, make we say Andrew. Move out of the way, make we say at the Prime Minister of the country walk and sell Jill. Donovan Williams. You say I know you. Move out of Andrew way. We want the country to see that Andrew Holness is selling medical drill to the country. So if you want with it call your name and you don't want with it defame you, come out of Andrew Holness way, come from in front of Andrew, make Andrew turn up with his shares them. And then we can stop call your name. But we still want to know the $27 million. Because we are going to $5 million for the jail. The $27 million between Tufton, Colonel Charles Boy, Donovan Williams, Sarah Executive and Procurement Team, Andrew Holness. We want to know how the money share up. Yes, the $27 million. Can't say $32 million for it, and Dr. Dahl say it costs about $5 million. So we're write you off with the $5 million. The other 27,000, we want to know who and who get out there and how much you get. Because we know say all heap kickback and all heap cut Prime Minister. We know nothing to do in our country without cut. And if something could inflate so, if inflation could hit the jail, so Prime Minister, imagine how phone packet inflated. Imagine, Prime Minister, how a packet inflated if the price of 1 jail could have been inflated in this manner. Imagine how a packet inflated. Criminals. But we cannot wait for the broader corruption at Ministry of Health to be uncovered. Because Dr. Dahl said this is a tip of the iceberg. And if this is a tip, my God, we don't want to see when the iceberg really get higher. May Joan Allaway may turn over the boat. More so the labor right boat, because it capsized already, you know. The labor right boat is already being capsized. And unearthing the corruption at the Ministry of Health might just turn the entire bloody thing over. This here government here has not delay when it comes to providing us corruption and scandal. I mean, this government corruption and scandal is on steroid. Every time you look, the muscles of this government when it comes to stealing get much bigger. I mean, Prime Minister, we would have thought that going into the election, on would try keep on our hands still on our side, make we see someone and do nothing, make we see someone and thief. But Prime Minister, even when you can't call election a scandal, them just have pop out one after the other. So 240 million, 244 million, nobody knows the way it's spent. 54 million for fertilizer. No farmer no see not a dust nor a grain. 32 million for medical jail. Now we hear say cost less than 5 million. I'm asking the question, will Andrew Holness government provide us any more new scandal before the election? Or will this be the last set of scandal for this government? Prime Minister, take the country out of the misery. It's not going to be good, Prime Minister, to be having general election and hurricane in a one. Because I know say you pay your friend them for blow breeze come to Jamaica right now, you know. You wanted a terrible hurricane so bad, Prime Minister. If anything that this Prime Minister desire now is a Category 5 hurricane, because Andrew wants everything to put off that election, this election, because he cannot face it. Because he's unable to face the country in the upcoming general election, Andrew's doing everything to bypass an election. Fly high though, Prime Minister, or fly low, you will have to call the election. Even if you don't, the Constitution will. Even if you don't, Prime Minister, the Constitution will. Fly high, fly low, we're going to get rid of you and your fingers. We have borne the brunt of it, Prime Minister. The country have been left broke. Nothing get fixed in this country. That's why you suffer with for 9 years. And then at the end, you walk around and a tie ribbon pan and finish things. You just a run round so and a tie ribbon pan and finish things. And then you have the audacity to ask us to give you 5 more years to finish the unfinished things and where you tie and ribbon pan. Remember, so you're a cocky person, you know, Prime Minister. Remember, you're a cocky person. And when we give it another 5 years, you're not going to remember till it come closer to an election. So you need to do something for it. You walk and tell people, say, them for walk and talk about the government's success. And look how long me ask you, what is the government's success, Prime Minister? And you now know labor right can't explain to me. What is this government's success? Name it. You can't come with road and you can't come with a new social housing. Cannot no go so. Nothing. Don't go so. So you can't come with the endorsing thing there. What is this government success story? I'm dedicated to listening to this government. Because if the government have a success story, I want to help tell it. But you have to tell me what it is, because I'm not quite clear what success means. If it is that the Prime Minister is successful in 1, 2, 3, 4 area, then you should be able to explain it. And if you are unable to explain it, it means that the Prime Minister is not successful in any area at all. Because if it is there, you should be able to point to it and said, he did this, and this will benefit generations. I challenge a labor right to point out the Prime Minister's success to me. I challenge a Labourite to point out the success of Andrew Holness. I have been asking this for weeks, and I'm not going to stop asking it until general election. And I don't see why you wouldn't want to answer that particular question, because at a time when the Prime Minister is asking for a third term, then he ought to be able to point to some of the success that he regularly speaks about, to say, these are our achievements. Can you name them? Labor rights, as Terencia Morrison. Labor rights! Can you name them? Because every day on a tell we're saying successful. Okay, yes, he's successful. Can you tell us how? Can you tell us how the Prime Minister is successful? It's not evident to all. And not everybody live uptown. And don't tell us about the high-rise blocks, because none of we can buy them. Remember this government I tell you, saying, brother and sister if put together and buy a house, a one-bedroom house. I don't know which one of the couple, because the brother and sister may have their own spouse respectively. I wonder which couple are going to live in the one-bedroom house, sir. When two family members make up and buy one house, which one are going to live in one-bedroom house? Which one are going to live in there? New social housing. You call it new for a reason, you know. You call it new for a reason because you know it was going to be a separate scam compared to the one local government is running. And you want to make it look like Andrew invents something. Andrew invents something to steal something from, isn't it, Prime Minister? That's why you don't know say poor and indigent mean the same thing. And then you want us to call you Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness, and you don't want us to call you the thiefing boy from Cumberland Road, which you really are. Because I call the election, if you're confident enough, you should knock your chest like a silverback gorilla and announce the date. You know, you might go in the same ready to sound the trumpet. Labor rights in finishing. One of them. I am asking the question, where are labor rights? Because I'm not seeing them. I'm not hearing them. I don't see them out there defending the Prime Minister. I don't see them out there defending the party. I don't see them out there campaigning. They're barely cussing us anymore. I couldn't tell when last to see SYM or bad mind. They've all faded away, haven't they? Oh, what a sad thing Andrew Holness has done to the Jamaica Labour Party. He've left you all without even a voice. You don't have nothing to defend. Because when he not thief, he might tell lie, or he might let gunman or pedophile loose upon us. Isn't that what Andrew Holness does? Miss Seema, St. Elizabeth, Clyde Green, you prepare yourself to go back in the Lord chamber, my friend. Go on back, go tell the lie one you used to. Go on back, go tell the lie one you used to, Clyde Green, because certainly if you think to say, the little young boy them, where you use alcohol, buy them out, I go live for the buckle every day, flight green. You will mash up one of Jamaica richest parish agricultural resources wise. You and Tufton. Are you and Tufton mash up agriculture and fisheries at St. Elizabeth? The farmers are waiting for you. Because one, the how much million of fertilizer we're going missing with them not get nothing out of. And two, the open lights where Andrew issue to James Roberts will cripple the agriculture industry because James Roberts have him storage and him shipment and him can kill out with local agriculture market courtesy of UNO, the same thieving criminal laborer. Our chicken back, Andrew and James are carrying a country to, you know. And them have all of the galang in them. That's why everybody I get cut out. Why you think Andrew Holness government let Metro loose span everybody to mash up everybody market stall and just a walk on a bun down market so? They all have a plan. It's them alone to make money. Everybody to be them servant. You know, so the tourist boy come out with the attacks the Airbnb and undercut them by 30%. It means that they want 100% of the market, you know. 100% of the market them want. Them no want nobody to tap into the market and benefit anything out of the market. Beware of these crooks. You hear me? But as I told you, I'll be absent for a month and I'll update you on that as we go along. I hope you all can understand. I will give you more information closer to the time, though. But thank you very much for another week spent here on Global TV. We will be taking the weekend to rest, but do join us back. We should be back Sunday. Yeah, we'll probably just rest tomorrow. And we probably be back out here on Sunday. But by next week I should be able to provide. Oh yes, Debbie, be sure. Be sure you can stand in. I will talk to you off air, definitely. Be sure. You see, out of Freetown yesterday, a cut ribbon and a new off-road to avoid the town. And the owners and the all of them lucky with the ribbon cutting because they really think people is fascinated by or carried away by the ribbon cutting, especially now that we know that these ribbon cutting are all unfinished things where Andrew probably don't even get to connect up the sewage at the urban center before election. But Andrew wanted to go down in history that I built and opened the unfinished, don't have toilet urban center. This government is a con artist. They're going to Andrew come in conning us, and he's going out conning us. The good thing for Andrew Holness, though, He destroyed the Jamaica Labour Party, going out with him, leaving the Jamaica Labour Party unelectable for a very, very long time to come. After Andrew Holness, the country will be hesitant in trusting the Jamaica Labour Party. Thank you very much. Have an amazing weekend and make sure you enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. Good night from the Global Television Group.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. That's a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see? They didn't sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see? They can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the
You will manage, Ladybug, you will manage.
The seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to
Thanks
all
everyone.
wicked men.
Good night.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all.
Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.